Hello, everybody. My name is Adam, and welcome back, or for the first time, to an Irish Ramble. So, I realised that I always start these podcasts quite sad. Well, not sad, but it's very melancholy. I'm very low spoken. There's no energy about me. And I know most podcasts now, you'll see the people are like, welcome back to this, blah, blah, blah. They go fucking mental, but that's not a bit of me. And I actually tried to record this yesterday. I woke up and I was just like, oh, fuck, right, I'll do this now. And I got maybe 10 minutes in, then something happened with my laptop. Then I had to sort that out for another 5 minutes, and then did like another 5 minutes of the podcast. And then I was like, I'm not feeling this at all. It just wasn't in me. Uh, so instead of just plowing on and trying to just kind of put out a shit one just to get it over and done with, I was like, no, fuck that. I'm not doing it. So I just deleted it and said, I'll go into work. I'll get my first night of work over and done with, because I'm doing 7 in a row now, which is not great. But I said I'll do that, and then today make sure I wake up, go on a 5k run, come back, have a bit of breakfast. I say breakfast, it was at like 5 p.m. that I'm eating, and read a bit of my book, and kind of mellow myself out, make myself feel a bit better, which the run 100% helped with. Um, and then just kind of go from there. So I'm here. I'm ready now. I'm showered and all, feeling good about myself. The runs definitely do help. I know there's mornings when I'm like, oh fuck, now I have to go on a run, but every single time I come back from one, I'm like, thank God I did that. So if you're ever feeling a bit shit, do a bit of exercise. And I don't want to sound like anyone's grandmother telling them they're fucking putting on the pounds or anything, but it does wonders for your mental health. I'll tell you that much. So this episode, I have a few questions lined up. I got a couple of questions from people. Thank you very much once again. If you do have any questions or anything you want to ask me or show me, follow me on Instagram, an Irish Ramble. It's very simple. Yeah. So the first question I have is, what is your favorite album so far this year? And obviously, I'm listening to a lot of albums this year. Uh, and I was thinking about this out of all the ones that I have here, and I have a big list of them. And the one that I kind of settled on is actually number 5 in my January ranked albums. So it's not even like the best album of any of the months, but it's my favorite album because it's the one I've been listening to a lot over and over again. And it's A Matter of Time by Shed 7. Now, anytime like all the top 5 or top 10 albums of each month, I've just like saved them into my just into my normal library on Apple Music. And yeah, I'm an Apple Music wanker, I know, okay, fair enough. But I've just been, anytime like one of their songs come on, even in shuffle, I might forget that it's them, and I'm like, who sings this? I'm like, that's such a good song. And then I see them, I'm like, class, absolutely class. And also never heard of them before I started doing this. So that's the best thing about listening to every type of music. So yeah, A Matter of Time by Shed 7. I'd recommend it a lot. Number 2, what was the reason for your sudden change in work rate and motivation? That's a good question. So thank you. But sudden change, well, I obviously moved home. So that was kind of like the biggest change. From living in town with the boys to moving home back with the family. Like, that was a big change in itself. So I knew I needed to kind of change the way I was living, like change my lifestyle. Also living in town was just an abundance of like takeaways and stuff like that, which was, I was like, fuck me, that's so much money going down the drain. At least if I go home, I'll be able to cook proper meals. Not all the time. Obviously, my mom's having dinner sometimes, and I'm not going to say no to that. She's a trained chef, so why the fuck would I? But yeah, I like, and also from constantly being around people to having more time to focus on myself and the things that I actually want to focus on. Uh, it just kind of had to happen, really. Also, the fear of falling behind was the one thing that was kind of looming over me. That was the main reason for me to move back home, is because I felt like I was stuck in a rut. And obviously, no badness to the people that I live with that are my friends. I mean, I had the best 2 years ever living on my own. I learned a lot about myself, but it was just like I needed to kind of reevaluate my life choices, really. But yeah, even now, I'm saying like I had the fear of falling behind, but even now, I still have that, and I still feel like I need to do more. And as I said last week, this is the healthiest I've ever been. This is the most I've ever like took care of myself mentally, physically, and even emotionally, I'd say. But I still feel like I need to do more. All my free time, I feel like I'm not doing enough nearly, But look, we're getting there, and it's definitely a good start. Next question. Dream holiday. That was it. That was the whole question. So I was thinking about this, and I have a couple of answers. So one of them would be Japan, because I'm obviously learning Japanese right now, slowly but surely, might I add. But I'm trying to learn Japanese right now. I also love Japanese cuisine. I love sushi. I love anytime I go to like a Tammy in town. I used to go there a lot. Um, or like anytime we go on holidays, like me and Anya, I feel bad because like Anya doesn't really like sushi or anything like that. So I feel bad going to places like by myself because I don't want her sitting there just not eating anything. But she really like pushes me to go to the places that I want to go to, because she just wants me to have the food that I like, which I really appreciate. But um, like every time I go there, I'm just, oh my god, it's just so happy. Even like all the like the ramens and like all the like the broth that they use is just, it's just so wholesomely good. It kind of hugs my whole system. But yeah, I heard a lot of people saying Japan is really good, and I heard a lot of people saying Japan is really overstimulating. So I would like to go there once in my life just to see it. Another answer I have is India. Now, I just think India for the experience would be very, very interesting. I know there's a big wealth gap. There's a lot of poverty, but there's also a lot of beauty in the country itself. And I don't know, it just, anything I've seen of it, it looks absolutely marvelous. So also there's be cows rocking about the place. I think that's hilarious. But yeah, India would be quite a cool place. Japan would be quite a cool place. And then the last one I put here is Dubai. And hopefully I'm going to Dubai at the end of the year. And look, I know Dubai is probably not the best for, you know, ethical values and morals, but looks pretty cool. So don't you can't give out to me for that one. I just want to go and see it. Next question and last question: is it weird talking to yourself all the time? Yes, is a short answer. It is. It is fucking weird. Now I talk to myself all the time anyway. I don't really have anything of value to say. Is how I feel most of the time. But talking to myself in this room, especially looking at my phone, like I'm looking at is the three little cameras on my phone, and I don't even know which one's recording me. So yeah, it is very weird. And like even when I'm in work, because I don't have my headphones now, I'm thinking about like what I'm going to talk about, or I'm thinking about uh different things of like maybe I should talk about this, maybe I should talk about this. Like who do I want to get on the podcast? Talk how in depth do I want to go in about different things. Talk if I want to do a deep dive. Like that. Your head is just constantly thinking about things. Like you're always like I actually find it really interesting that some people don't have an internal monologue. Is that I don't know how to like just I I'm constantly talking in my head. Even if I'm not doing anything, even if I'm trying to be like as quiet as possible, even going to sleep, like my brain does not switch off. Even when I'm going to sleep, my head is always like, I'm going to sleep now. I'm going to try and sleep. Uh, and some people don't have that. Some people just don't think of anything, um, which freaks me out. I don't know if anyone listening to this is like that, but I feel like there's always something going on in my mind. I also feel like I might be a little bit insane, so that kind of is a part of it. But uh, it is weird talking to myself all the time. But it's only when I actively have to do it, like right now doing the podcast, that it really kind of cements itself as a weird thing to do, which is why I can't wait to get the other mic. Hopefully, I'll get it. It was supposed to be here today. It's Thursday now, and it's not here, so it's an absolute nightmare waiting for something like that. But yeah, thank you very much for the questions. I appreciate it. Um, the next thing, well, the main thing I want to talk about today is drink, alcohol, beverages, anything over 4%, really. Uh, I don't drink anymore. I've come to the executive decision to not drink anymore. And that's purely because I'm a fucking arsehole when I'm drinking. And I'm actually not an arsehole when I'm drinking. I can just be a liability. Now, I used to go out nearly every night and go for pints, especially when I was younger. Like, I'm only 23 now, but uh, when I was younger, me and Oshin specifically, we would be proper pint men. We would go out and we'd go to really two pubs in Dundalk and we would get absolutely rullive. We would get hammered and then we'd just go and get a Chinese and then walk home. A walk that should have taken 15 minutes would turn into an hour. But like genuinely the funniest nights ever. Like they were just, it was absolute lunacy. But and like I was grand with drinking, but I don't know. I feel like I'm allergic to it now. Do you know? I just can't do it. Um, yeah, it really doesn't agree with me. But back in the day, there was a lot of funny times. There was also a lot of not so funny times. And I remember the first time that I ever got properly drunk. It ended in absolute misery. I mean, I was in the car on the way home. I couldn't even speak, which you know is a bad sign because I can never shut the fuck up. That's actually how you know that I'm in a bad way, is if I just can't speak. That's how you know you either need to call the ambulance or you need to get as far away from me as possible because I am going to paint the walls. And unfortunately, that's what I did in the car. Uh, my sister was actually sitting beside me and I needed the car to stop and I couldn't get any words out. So I was like, what's the best way to kind of let Amy know that I need the car to stop? So I just hit her. I just started fucking hitting her. And unfortunately, she didn't understand what I was trying to say. So yeah, I mean that's all I'm really going to say about that. I don't think you really need to know. You don't need me to say what happened next. I think you can all imagine. It was absolutely disgusting, and then actually like I just went straight up to bed after that because I was like I can't even function. And then all my clothes went into the wash, but my phone was in my pocket, and my mom washed my phone, and then the phone broke. And then mom was like, "Oh, I can't believe I broke your phone." I was like, "Mom, that is clearly not your fault." I was like, that is my fault. It's no one else's fault. You can't put that on yourself." Um, and also, uh, another bad time was when I was at Oshin's sister's wedding. Oh my god. I didn't go to the wedding, I didn't go to the ceremony. I stayed up in that hotel room and polished off a liter of Captain Morgan's with one of the boys. And let me tell you, we got value for that room because there was no way we were leaving that room. I was stuck to the sink. And some of the videos from that night, that's the thing as well. Phones. Phones are a great thing to have, but they can ruin your life. Like some of the videos that anybody has on their phone. Oh my god, they're absolutely abysmal. The videos from that night are very funny though because I was young, I was a fucking mess, um, but I wasn't overly like I was never overly terrible at anything really. I was always just stupid, you know, and that's what I mean by saying I was a liability. I was always just a bit oh fuck here we go. But yeah, there's some good times with drinking as well. Like, you know, I always felt like going out and having a few drinks made me talk to people a lot easier. And I love talking to people. Well, I used to. I used to love talking to everybody. Like, I'd go into Ridley's and I would try and maybe talk to everybody in the fucking building that night. But I think COVID was the one thing that really ruined me. Like, I never, like I'm saying, oh, I never was the same after COVID, but not in like a terrible way. I got so comfortable in my own space that I didn't really go out after COVID. Like, and I never really drank. I didn't drink during COVID really. Apart from the nights on the PlayStation with the boys, and then yeah, now anytime that I went out for a drink, like let's say in the past 2 years, I would have a couple of drinks, then I'd have like a whiskey sour or something like that, and then I would be pelagic. Like, I could be blacked out talking to you, and people genuinely have said to me that like, you didn't seem that bad last night, and I'm like, I don't remember speaking to you last night. Like, I'm so good at having a poker face. I will genuinely have a full conversation with you and me be absolutely blacked out. But as soon as I get outside and as soon as that fresh air hits me, it is balls to the walls. I am absolutely away with the fairies then. Like, there's been nights when we were walking home and I took off my shoes and the boys are walking home being like, what the fuck is it? Like, what are you doing? I'm here just like throwing my shoes about the place and leaving them in the middle of the road. Like, I was never horrible. I was never a bad drunk, but I was just a messy person, you know? And that's not the reason why I'm stopping drinking. The reason is genuinely because I can't do it anymore. I can't stomach it. Um, I think like any of the nights where like, you go on one and you're having a great night and you're in the pub a bit early and you don't leave till really late. The whole next day, I am genuinely stuck to the toilet getting sick. And I might get sick. Like, I don't want to talk about this too much because it's not nice, especially when you're hearing it out of such a good quality microphone. I get sick maybe 20 times or 30 times a day, and that's how bad it is. It's fucking disgusting. Like, when I went to Amsterdam to see Jamie, me and Gavin were there. It was the first night, and we were playing fucking beer pong with beer, wine, uh, Caribbean rum, straight from the Caribbean, and was there something else? Vodka, I think. And the next day, genuinely, like one full day in Amsterdam, I was stuck to the bed, just wishing I was anywhere but here. Um, so like that was like, see, it's more wasting days that I just find not fun, and also like if I have one sip of drink, I'm up for the night. Most people will pass out if they've drank. Like, they'll have the best sleep of their lives, but I just can't sleep at all. If anybody else is like that, where they actually can't sleep and they're twisting and turning all night after drinking, please let me know, because I know it's not normal. But if someone else is like that, that would make me feel a lot more comfortable. But anyway, yeah, I am not drinking anymore. And if anyone sees me with alcohol on a night out, just know that it's 0-0 and I'm driving home. And I mean that. I'm not going to be drink driving, just to clarify. That was not a way of me saying that, you know. Yeah, 0-0 is all the way. I actually don't mind 0-0s as well. I think they taste grand. Everyone's like, oh, it doesn't taste nice. It fucking tastes nearly the same. Shut up, right? What else? Bookshop scam is what I wrote down here. So I'm obviously into reading now. How cool is that? I know. Uh, yeah, I finished off the Thursday Murder Club series, the four of them. The last one, I just need to say this before I talk about what I'm about to talk about. The last book in that, The Last Devil to Die is what it's called. Oh my god. That shit was tugging at the heartstrings, something serious. I'm not going to give anything away. Well, I kind of am. Well, not really. So if you want to read it, shut your ears for 10 seconds, right? It's not even a spoiler, but you just might want to hear this. When they're talking about dementia in the book, oh my god, genuinely was about to bawl my eyes out. Like, the way he writes about it, oh my god, I actually felt like I had fucking dementia. I was like, where am I? It's very sad. It's very good, but it's very sad. But what a good way to end the series. I know he has another book coming out. maybe like another like 2 years, um, for the Thursday Murder Club, but it was very good. And now I started reading fucking. Oh, the book's not there. Never mind. The Secret Hours by Mick Herron. Is that his name? I don't know. I started reading that. It's his newest one, but it's a standalone book, and it's a very different style of writing. So, like, I was so used to the fun kind of dance around the topic book in Thursday Murder Club, and now I'm into fucking real hard hitting, like, writing where the page has just so much information on it, and I was taken aback by it, but it's very good so far. But yeah, I bought 4 books online. It was Mick Herron's first 4 books because that was a series, and I wanted to kind of read all his books in order. And I was like, right, I'll buy these 4. Eason's only had 3 of them, so I was like, well, fuck that, I'm not buying them there. I want the 4 of them just because I'm stupid like that. I can't even. I could have just bought one. I would have been grand. Um, so I was looking, and I found this site, and it looked pretty dodgy. I've never heard of this bookshop somewhere down the country, and they were like, "Yeah, the 4 books we've the 4 books of the series, and we have them like €5 cheaper than anywhere else." And I was like, "Oh, this is perfect, deadly." So I paid for the 4 of them, and it said to be here in 2 to 3 days. It is now 9 days later, and I still don't have these books, right? So I was like, right, I'm gonna fucking show up to this bookshop, and I'm gonna, give my 2 cents about the whole situation. And yeah, no, just been waiting, and there's been absolutely nothing. So I emailed them yesterday, just very politely, and was like, I was just wondering, like, where's my books? Where the fuck are my books? And it was a woman who emailed me back, and she was like, oh, she was like, yeah, sorry, we just have to wait for them to be brought in from England. It'll be another week. And then she said we can refund you if you don't want to wait that long. And then I felt bad. I was like, that was very nice for to offer to refund them. I was like, I'm not that much of an arsehole. I was like, I can wait. But it said they were in stock. So why do I have to wait for them to come into England? But I still got them for €5 cheaper each. So I'm not going to complain too much. So there was no scam. Well, hopefully not. We'll wait and see. But yeah, reading is a good way to fill up my time. I know I was saying, like, when I was talking about the questions of things that I need to do more. I have a big ADHD head in me, so it's hard to kind of fill up my time without instantly wanting to jump to do something else. So, like, I'm obviously listening to my albums. I'm listening to my podcasts. I'm doing a podcast. I'm playing the PlayStation, reading my books, learning Japanese, doing my running, and all of that. I still, in my head, I'm like, I need something else. I need to do something else because I might only spend like 20 minutes on each, and then I'm like, no, no, I need to do something else because my brain just does not function normally. It doesn't last. All these like things I want to do, they don't last very long, but I'm still doing them every single day, which is important. Um, yeah, so I want something else to do. I don't know what the fuck I want to do. But look, hopefully I get them books soon enough. So I started reading his most recent book. I wanted to go from oldest to newest, and I ended up just reading the newest one. So I kind of went arseways about that, but look, it'll be grand. Um, Next thing I want to talk about is holidays. So obviously I was talking about Paris in my first episode, um, and it kind of got me thinking about all the holidays that I went on beforehand. Now, I've been on a lot of holidays. I've been very lucky to, always go on holidays with my family. And then when I started working, being able to pay for holidays for myself. So I really want to go on a holiday again very soon. I know I said I want to go to Dubai, which I do. I want to go somewhere with Anya. I don't know when. Sometime this year anyway. I don't know where either. Maybe Italy. Hmm. I don't know. See, there's so many places that I want to go, and such little time to do it. Um. But yeah, the first, me and Anya are actually going to Bray for her birthday. Which will be very fun. And Bray is a lovely spot. It's nice just to kind of go down the country because going on holidays is lovely, but there's so many nice places in Ireland to go, but it's just so expensive. Like me and Anya were supposed to go to Galway like 2 years ago. It was actually 2 years ago yesterday. We were supposed to go, and it was cheaper for us to fly to Manchester and have a night. Was it a night or 2 nights? I don't know. It was cheaper for us to go to Manchester and stay in Manchester than it was to go to Galway for a night. Like that is absolutely shocking. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it was quite fun. But Bray is a lovely spot, and it was actually when I was thinking about Bray that made me start thinking of something that happened, which was when went to the aquarium that's there because I like animals. It doesn't matter if they're in the fucking water, in the sky, or just on the ground. I love animals. So we went into the aquarium. We were seeing all this, and it was amazing. And then I went round to sit something to Anya, and next thing you know, she's tripping up the stairs. And there was a worker who was kind of walking behind her, just watched Anya fall up the stairs, and just turned around. They were like, "I'm not fucking dealing with this. I don't get paid enough." But there's always funny things that happen on holidays, and then there's not so funny things that happen. And me and Anya witnessed something that was definitely not funny on holidays. We were in Lanzarote, and it was our first night there. It was my first time in Lanzarote, and we were just walking around, kind of looking at the. It was the coast we were looking at, and it was beautiful. It was unbelievable. I think we were either going to dinner or we were after coming from dinner, and we were looking around. It was beautiful, and there's loads of pubs up on the other side looking over, and this woman got up from her seat, and she was obviously stone drunk. She got up from her seat, but it's very hilly, and she just kind of was stumbling down. She stumbled the whole way down, and right behind me, I mean, maybe like inches right behind me, she fell and smashed her head off the ground. And I mean, she just did not move. She smashed her head and was just boom, dead. And we were just standing there like, what the fuck just happened? Now, bearing in mind, I instantly felt like I should have done something because she was right behind me. But you know, I didn't know. Like I was just looking, and next thing she was fucking down on the ground, and people were crowding around her, and there was no movement out of her at all. And I was like, did I just watch somebody die on my first night in Lanzarote? I was like, this is absolutely insane. And then like there's so many emotions just hit you. And then we went and we went to a quiz night. We went to a pub quiz, and like even think about it now. I don't know if the woman died. I hope not. But to go to a pub quiz straight after witnessing something like that, and we came last in the pub quiz as well. Um, oh yeah, that was a rough start to the holiday. It was a great holiday though. Even thinking about that now, Jesus Christ, what is wrong with us? Why do we just go to a pub quiz straight after? Oh my god. Um, yeah. Anyway, that was a good holiday. Another good holiday was Malia. Now, Malia was an absolutely fucking ridiculous holiday, to be fair. It was my first. I was going to say it was my first drinking holiday, but it was my first party holiday. And it was me and Gavin going with a group of people that we did not know because there was mix up with like people doing repeats in college and some people who weren't able to go and they just needed to fill up the spaces. So me and Gavin were like, yeah, fuck it, we'll go. And so we kind of stuck together. And with all these people that we didn't really know, like we knew of them obviously, but we were like, fuck, we'll see how this goes. Genuinely had such an unbelievable time. And it's the same people that we're actually friends with now. Do you know? Like, I wouldn't have met these people if I didn't go on this holiday. So it was a blessing in disguise. Uh, but yeah, Mali was absolutely crazy. I remember the first night we decided to go out, we got hounded by this man on the street who, like, talk about a hype man. He was just standing there. He was like, 50 fucking shots. 50 fucking. He was like, he just went going crazy. What are we, 50 shots? Like, fucking 5 fish bowls. You got like loads of drinks. You got loads of balloons. It was fucking everything that he was offering. And it was all for a fiver each. And we were like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Now, these men were absolute pests. These men were the most like so sleazy. But listen, we went there. We got our bits and bobs. We fucking left. Um, and that holiday was it was just so funny. Do you know, like all the clubs that you went into, they were so small and they were all so like cramped. And it was just even thinking about it now, it just seemed like such a fever dream. Like one of the boys, like every time you'd leave the nightclubs as well, there was these like 5-year-olds fucking hounding you for money, and they were like trying to sell you bracelets and everything. This is like what 3 or 4 in the morning. I was like, get the fuck away from me! Like one of the boys was actually getting hounded for 50 cent, while the other kid stole his turn on the fucking boxing machine outside one of the nightclubs, and this kid broke the boxing machine. That is one of the funniest videos I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, the Irish are everywhere as well. Because in Malia, we were in this one of these clubs, and I was waiting for a drink, and then this fella was beside me and goes, "Jay, you're definitely from Ireland, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Yeah, that's mad. Whereabouts are you from?" And I said, "Oh, from like Dundalk and all." He was like, "Oh, do you know this one?" And he literally named someone who lived down the road from me. I was like, "How the fuck is this possible?" He was like, "Jeez, that's mad, isn't it? That's fucking mad, isn't it?" I was like, "Where are you from?" And he was like, "I'm from Roscommon." Obviously, nowhere near where I live. I'm like, hey, it's just mad how no matter where you go, there's a possibility that you're gonna know someone. It's the fucking, isn't it the five? I don't know what it's called, but like you're, no matter who it is in the world, you're only 5 people away from knowing someone, which still blows my mind. But I mean, I've never seen someone not get it right. Um, Also, Malia, we went to see H, the rapper. He was performing in one of the clubs there. And I'm thinking back, like, I wonder how much money he gets for doing appearances like that. It must be colossal money. But to commemorate seeing H, I got a lip tattoo. I don't know, you can see it there on the video, but it just says Malia. I mean, it does, like, there's nothing of importance on it, but it just says Malia. If I got that, if I got one of them everywhere I've been, it would just say loads of cities on my body. But yeah, it was it was a funny night, and I wasn't even drunk that night. I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll just get this tattoo because why not? Um, but when I was getting the tattoo, your man was doing it. That was fine. There was no issue. It wasn't sore. Then after it, he decided to put cling film over it to cover it. I was like, you don't really need to do that, but okay. And then he was cutting it with scissors to like cut the cling film. He just cut my lip open. He just literally just cut the corner of my lip and it started bleeding. And he was like, "Oh," and he was trying to cover it. I was like, "Man, you just cut my lip." And he was like, "It's okay." No, it's not. You fucking cut my lip. What are you talking about? Um, so that wasn't great. But the holiday as a whole was fantastic. Every night was hilarious. Every single night we'd also go to McDonald's, and that McDonald's was that was a fever dream, do you know? But yeah, great group of people that I went with. And also you meet so many people over there. Like we met these lads from Essex, and it's so funny, you just bond with these people and you're like, "Oh, this is deadly, we'll plan on seeing you," and then you never fucking see them again. Um but still, it was a great holiday. It was a great holiday. So I don't know where I'm gonna go next on holidays, but I'm sure there'll be maybe not as exciting stories because I won't be drinking, but I'm sure everybody else will. So I might be able to remember the stories even better. Right, next thing, and this is actually the last thing that I want to talk about because I had not that many things to say in this episode, and it's going to be a lot shorter. I think it's gonna be maybe like 40 odd minutes. But the last one is boredom. Now I kind of talked about this already, so this episode gonna be even shorter. But boredom, how to deal with it when it happens, I don't know. I haven't a fucking clue. I haven't a breeze. But I notice myself getting bored very easily. Um, and that's usually when I'm by myself because, as I said, I feel like I need to do something all the time. But it's very difficult. It's very difficult to do anything. And like obviously I'm reading and I'm playing the PlayStation and I'm doing all my other bits that I mentioned, but I think for me it's kind of chopping and changing between all of them that's the one thing of kind of keeping me going. Because if I did like fucking 3 or 4 hours just playing the PlayStation, I'd feel so slumped afterwards, and then I wouldn't want to do anything else. But if I do 30 minutes here, 20 minutes there, just doing all these different things, I feel like that helps a lot. I've obviously talked about me not having social media apart from, well, I have like my Instagram now for the an Irish Ramble page, which I haven't done anything with because I went so long without having Instagram, and now that I have it, I'm so used to not doing anything. So I'm like, I don't know what to put up. I don't know what to do with it, and yeah, it's just kind of sitting there. But it's a great way for people to send me questions and like send me things. So if you do want to do that, please do it because it'll make me actually be a bit more active with it. But I find myself slipping back into old routines, and that is like on YouTube I found myself just clicking the shorts and just like looking at them, and I'm like, that is the main reason why I deleted TikTok. I don't want to be just scrolling on my phone aimlessly. um I like that was the I just like TikTok is funny and all, but I felt like it was too much serotonin so quickly all the time in everyday life that I felt like I wasn't taking the actual good things in my life as serious as I should. And I've noticed now since I like don't use it at all, I'm a lot happier. I'm actually genuinely happy about seeing the people that I love and doing things that I like. And if something happens now, I find everything very fucking funny. So it does make me feel a lot better. And that's not me preaching for everyone else to do the same, but it's just a personal thing. Um, Also, meeting people and like talking to people you actually want to spend your time with, that is one massive way to change your boredom. Because if you are bored, talking to people that you like is quickly going to change that. And sometimes you can get like into a kind of mood of, oh, I don't want to see anyone today, or I'm not really feeling it. But it makes such a big difference. And I know now that I have my car back, going out to be able to meet people is a big game changer. Um, but yeah, I found myself falling back into the routine of looking at the shorts, which I've disabled on my phone now because I was like, I do not want to be looking at these. Also eating snacks. I'm trying to be as healthy as I can now. I've cut out like sugar out of it, and then I'm drinking like my coffees and all. I don't drink fizzy drinks anymore. I'm like that fucking Indian guy on TikTok. I'm not gonna do the voice. But yeah, I find myself I'm staring at a Tony's chocolate bar right now. If you ever see me looking over here, it's because there's a fucking bag of pretzels and there's a Tony's chocolate bar sitting there. Um, but Tony's chocolate bar, right? They are very expensive, but I'm telling you, everyone go buy the Tony's milk caramel biscuit chocolate bar. Oh my god, this is the one thing that's gonna make me sin again. It is unbelievable. It is the nicest chocolate bar I've ever had in my entire life. And I know it's about 85 quid for a chocolate bar, but it is well worth it. And their whole deal is about stopping slavery in the chocolate industry, which I don't know how true that is about them stopping it, but hey, more power to you, Tony. I don't know what else to tell you. Um, yeah, I'm saying I'm trying to stop when I'm looking at them right now, but it's obviously nice to treat yourself every once in a while. I bought 3 chocolate bars and it might be like 3 weeks ago, and I only finished the last one there the other day. So that was 3 chocolate bars in 3 weeks. So that was one a week. That was really good, and I was really good at kind of holding off on eating things. But then as soon as I found this motherfucker, this specific one, I'm after buying two more, and I'm finished one of them, and now I'm just looking at the other one, being like, I can't eat you now. I was doing so well, and then I found what I think is the nicest chocolate bar to ever exist, and now I'm just back on my bullshit, which is something that I'm gonna have to cut out because like I said, I'm trying to be healthy. Um, but yeah, listen, fuck it. I think I'm doing quite well. I can be quite hard on myself, but this is still the best I've ever been. So fuck it, it'll be grand. Uh, that's really all I have to talk about. It is a very short episode this week. Well, I think it is anyway. I'm not. It's definitely about 40 minutes. But that was all I was able to muster up. But if you take into consideration that I did about 15 minutes yesterday, it's basically a normal episode. You just don't get to see that part. Listen, don't burn yourselves out. No matter what you're doing in life, if you're not up for something, don't fucking do it. People are very easily kind of pushed into being like, oh, I have to do this now, or oh, I promised someone I'd do this. If you're not able to do something, or you really, really don't feel up to it, and you feel like it's not going to benefit you in any way, don't fucking do it. Do you know? Like, I was kind of pushing myself to get this done yesterday, and I was like, what am I doing this for? This is supposed to be enjoyable. Me talking to myself and putting out these podcasts, hoping fucking 2 people a week will listen. That's supposed to be enjoyable for me. And if it's not, what's the fucking point in doing it? So I felt very good about doing this today. And again, it is just me talking to a camera, but listen, somebody's listening, so I'm going to continue to do it. Last thing I want to say is, if anybody is interested in seeing anything, whether it's, I know I'm doing the podcast, but on the YouTube channel for the podcast, if anyone's interested in seeing any other type of video, please let me know. And I mean, I say that all the time, but actually do let me know. Even if it's a no, just fucking text me and just be like, no, I'm pretty good with just seeing the podcast, or yeah, I'd be interested in seeing this or that or whatever, but just let me know, because I do want to fill up my time, and I feel like doing something like this would be quite beneficial for myself. Again, if there's any other like in-depth reviews or videos you want, just fucking let me know, shoot it my way, and I'll do it. Also, if you want to be in one of the podcasts, because I'll get the mic soon enough, so hopefully every single week I can have someone different on. So if you want to be in it, or if you just want to spend 2 hours with me one of the days, just sitting down having a conversation, just chatting, and you don't mind a mic being shoved in your face and a camera on you at all times, yeah, let me know. I think that'd be pretty fun. I'd like to see everyone again. Also, this light is absolutely burning my fucking eyes. I put it at a different setting, and it's fucking warm. It is really warm, and I keep looking at it now, and it's burning my fucking eyes. So I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Thank you very much for listening. If you liked it, just tell people. Please tell people about it. Fucking send it to someone. Put it on your Instagram story or whatever. But just let people know that I still exist, and that I haven't just fallen off the face of the earth, and that I'm actually a nicer person now. That'd be great. Look after yourselves. Look after each other, and all the best.